Okay. The area addition postulate means if you just add the areas of little parts together, it'll equal the area of the whole thing. So number 3, find the area of the region. We're gonna go around the room. Does anybody want to volunteer to start? Isaac? He's always quick on the draw. How do we find the area of number 3?
12 centimeters times 6 centimeters.
Correct. Which is 72. You guys remember your 12s? 72, how do we label it?
Centimeters squared.
Centimeters squared. Should we go clockwise or counterclockwise? This happened the last time. Isaac was first. Cadence or Caleb, one of you want to volunteer for 5? No? Alright, we'll go Cadence then. How do we do this? Triangles. There is a little bit of a trick on number 5. Do you guys see it? Right, 1 foot turns into what? 12 inches. So she said base times height divided by 2. Since it's a right triangle, we can use those legs as the base and height. 8 times 12 divided by 2 is? Yeah.
48.
Somebody beat you, Ava. Huh? I'm gonna draw this. 8 times 12 divided by 2. Okay. Zaya, this is probably the longest one. What shape is number 7? What's number 7 called, the shape? Trapezoid. Zaya, do you recall trapezoids?
Yeah. The base times base.
No.
Base 1 times base 2.
No.
I'm looking.
Base
Base 1 plus base 2
There you
divided by
go.
2 times height.
You kept saying times. Okay, so tell me what it is with the numbers plugged in.
3 plus 6 is 9 divided by 2 is 4.5.
What's the height?
4.
Okay, yeah. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. 4 times 4 is 16. 0.5 times 4 is 2. So that makes 16 and 2 make 18 meters squared. You guys got that one in your head yet? Number 8 is a kite. How do we find the area of a kite?
diagonals.
Diagonal times diagonal divided by 2. Okay, but I'm not going to do that one. Number 9, wasn't this yesterday, the circles? Or a couple days ago, I guess. Yesterday we did sectors. Natalie, how do we find the area of a circle? No, that is circumference. Right. Area is pi r squared. We did do circumference some, but they didn't ask for it on this one. Pi r squared. What is the r? What is the r on number 9? 9. Because 18 must be the diameter because they drew the whole thing. So yeah. So we need to do r is 9. 9 squared times pi equals 81 pi. Remember most of the time we didn't actually multiply the pi. Sometimes we did. The book did put that and the decimal. So if you want to
How
put
did
it
he get 81 pi?
right here, just talked about it.
Oh.
Number 11. Uh-oh. Jarrett, what? I'm crying. For all this. How do we do 11? Like, in general, what's the plan of attack? about what it looks like. Pretty close.
Do you just find the area of like, if this was a whole square, and then like you kind of find out the area of the little spaces in between and then subtract that from the area?
You could. Yes. Or you could just split it up into a bunch of rectangles. Either way, even this space in between would, you'd have to split it up into rectangles. And then add all the areas together. Alright, did I get all the numbers yet? Alright.
And 19 times 5.
Okay, so there's more than one way to split it, but yeah, you cut it into rectangles and then find the area of each rectangle and then add them all together. So Jared said 19 times 5. So I'm going to start cutting vertically. Cut, cut, cut. Okay, 19 times 5 will get this long skinny one.
18 times
Okay, yeah, he said this one right here is 15 from there to there times 8. That'd be, I believe it's 120.
7 times 3, right?
Okay, so if it's 27 all the way across, how far is it from there to there? Well, this far is 7, this far is 8, this far is 5. If we do 7 plus 8 plus 5 is 20, so that means to get all the way across this must be 7. So yes, it is 3 times 7. And then I think they try to make it so that these two were like the same length. So this is a 19 over here as well. So 19 times 7. Oh, what's that? 60, 133? Is that right? Okay, and then you add all 4 areas together to get the total. Darn it. Arrowhead.
I know, I need to see it again. Thank you. Thank you.
See if I can draw this. Not bad. A little wider. Maybe do this, and this. What else? Whew. All right, this is a weird one. I should have wrote those in red, probably.
Red.
You can see better when you have contrasting colors. Okay, well, they kind of split it up for us into shapes. So basically, we're going to find the area of each of those shapes and add them together. We could do the area of this big triangle on the left all at once. What could I use for the, Craig, do you know what the base and the height of this big triangle on the left is? What we could use for the base and height?
Would it be 20 and 15?
Yes. So if we do 20 times 15 divided by 2, that will give us the triangle at least, the big triangle. I believe that would be 150. Okay, this next shape's probably the hardest one. We could do these two smaller shapes, but we could also do this bigger shape. What is this bigger shape right here in the middle?
Trapezoid.
The trapezoid. Okay, which, because I did one of those back on number 7. So how do we do trapezoids? We do base plus base divided by 2. What are the base, or divided by 2 times the height? What are the bases of the trapezoid? 20, 10, and then 15 can be the height. So 20 plus 10 divided by 2 times the height of 15. I believe that comes out as
Should be like a big number.
225. And then last and probably least is the little rectangle. Yeah, it's just 10 by 15. So another 150. So we got a 150, a 150, and a 225. What's 150 plus 150?
That's 300.
300 plus 225.
525.
525. They didn't label it, so units squared. That is a doozy of a problem. Kind of like the fish on there, right?
The fish.
Does that not look like a fish?
Blah, blah, blah. That was a fish sound. BTW.
Alright. It's quiet time, Xander. 15. Find the missing length in each figure with the given area. Okay, so on 15 they're giving us the area. We got to work backwards to find the missing letter, which is the height. Okay, I probably better draw this. Dot, 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 dot. H, not 10, 9. Alright. So we already know the area, and what we're going to do is, so Xander, if I was trying to find the area of this triangle, how would I write it?
What do you mean?
Like, how would you find the area of this triangle?
Base
Yeah, what's the base?
10.
What's the height?
H.
And then what do you do after base times height?
Divide.
Divide by 2. And that should equal the area, so that should equal 10 squared or 14. And then we're going to do algebra. How do I get h by itself, Xander? A couple things you could do.
Times 2.
Times 2 to get rid of the divide by 2. 10 squared or 14 times 2. If you have a nice calculator, you can do it. But basically, you just do the 10 times 2 is 20 times squared of 14. And then what's the last step? Divide by 10. I guess we could have done 10 divided by 2 first here. Oh well, too late. Too late. 20 divided by 10 is
2.
2, so it's 2 squared of 14
Both.
centimeters, I guess. Not squared because this is not an area, this is the height. Whoops, I said not squared, then I wrote squared at the same time. Yeah. 17. You're fired.
What?
Something funny?
So, because that's not.
Alright. Kyle, it's the moment you've been waiting for.
Mr. Kim. Number 17.
For a moment like this, some people wait a lifetime.
Yeah.
You guys know that song? No.
You know Jared, how cocky Jared is about just starting? He's always bragging. So annoying.
Are you being for real or?
Yeah, always bragging. It's so bad.
Hey, you guys, you know how I started on varsity? Remember that?
Yeah, he's
Something like
always
that.
doing that. Yeah, he's like, remember the one time I started over you? Here. So rude.
I don't recall that, no. Okay, Kyle, what shape is number 17? It's kind of a tricky one, because it looks weird. All four sides are equal. What's that called? Yeah, I can hear when you guys whisper. You guys know that.
What are you talking about? No one whispered.
Anyways, that's a rhombus. When four sides are equal, do you remember the rhombus formula? There's actually two of them. There's base times height, which is not going to help us on this one. What's the other one? Diagonal times diagonal divided by 2. So, Kyle, what would be the diagonal that goes this way? How long would that be? 20? So, and what's the diagonal that's going up and down? Should show that on camera. Yeah, x plus x is 2x. So diagonal times diagonal divided by 2 should equal the area, which they said was 500. Alright, now there's multiple options. Kyle, what do you want to do first? Trying to get x by itself eventually. Okay, 20 times 2 is 40. Now what do you want to do? Okay, 40 divided by 2, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
40 divided by 2 is 20. Now what? Okay, yeah. 20 under, in other words, we're dividing by 20. You guys already plug this in?
Yeah.
25.
And we're talking about meters, I guess.
What are we squared?
No,
That's not-
they gave us the area on these problems and we're
Oh, okay.
finding the missing
Yeah,
x.
Ava.
Sorry.
Should be.
Alright. Reagan, what shape is 19? I don't know if I know what shape that is. Hold on.
Is it a nonagon?
Maybe. Let me see if the book tells me somewhere. Yeah, you're right. Is it nonagon? I think, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, 9 sides. Nonagon, she said. I can't believe you remember that one. We don't have many nonagons. Okay. 19. How do we find, Reagan, do you remember, it's probably Tuesday or something. How do we find the area of a regular polygon? Like a nonagon or something like that? No. It was a weird one. It was 1/2 apothem perimeter. Okay, so on this one looks like we don't know A, the apothem, but Reagan, how could we find the perimeter?
Would it be 5 times 9?
Yes. So 1/2 times the apothem times 5 times 9. I'm going to go ahead and write 5 times 9 is 45. And that should equal the area, which they tell us is 154.5. All right. Reagan, what do you think? How do we solve this for A?
1/2 times
You could do that. 1/2 times 45 would be like 22.5. Yeah. dividing by what? Okay, that'd probably be a good calculator thing. I don't know, is it probably, it's,
6.86 repeating.
is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, they just put about 6.9. Millimeters. If you ever have to round an answer off, and they don't tell you, it's not wrong if you put it different. Like some of you marked one of our answers on this week was like 51.4, and you guys put like 51.36 and marked it wrong or something. Some of you did, a couple. You don't have to mark it off. Okay. 20 is one of the skippers. How far do we want to go? Maybe a couple more. Let's see, what would half be? 22. Let's just go to 25. I think the last problems might be a little bit harder than the first. Okay, or maybe we can go till everybody gets one. 1, 2, 3, and then Caleb get the last one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you probably forgot how we did 27, but that's okay. We'll remind you. Ava, how do we do 23? Find the missing length of the triangle.
Are we already 21?
Oh no. Well, we're skipping 20. That means, yeah, we're skipping 21. Those two.
Hold on, let me
Do what now?
do all that right quick.
A817.
Are we doing 21?
No. I just asked, sorry. That's a great question. Oh, wait, it's a 60/30, right?
No, not a 60-30. What did we learn right before 60-30?
25.
Before that?
I don't know.
Hey,
A
blah.
squared, C squared?
Oh, a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
Okay, so what should I write?
Hold on. So, a squared plus 8, 17, 8, another one squared,
Which one?
8.
Okay, which side is the hypotenuse?
I don't know.
The big side, it's
17.
across from the 90-degree angle, 17. So that the two legs, the two smaller sides, should add up to the
Oh,
hypotenuse.
so 8. I was right.
Well, you said both of them, so. Anyways. 8 squared is 64, 7 squared, I think that's 289.
And then you subtract 4. And then you square it, or square root it.
Right. To get rid of the a squared, the squared, use square root.
Root 15.
You guys know how we could have done this in one less step? Right, subtract 17 squared minus 8 squared equals a squared. You don't have to, but. Yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying it backwards. Like this minus this equals that.
Oh, just do that.
Yeah. 25. Exact area. Okay. Why can't we find the area right now on 25? What's wrong with it? They don't give us the height. 'Cause they're jerks. And they don't care. Who knows? that all the info? Alright. Madeline, how can we find the height? I'll call it H.
I did not mean to.
Base times height. No.
Well, we don't know the height.
Yes.
Yeah, triangle is base times height divided by 2. But we don't have the height. Okay, what's the last problem we just did? Pythagorean theorem. So,
So it would be,
well, okay, here,
that's not the full.
if this is 20 all the way across, and this is 12, how far is it from here to here? 8, yes. Okay, so you see how we got a little right triangle now? 8, 12, and H. It's kind of like, looks like that. So how do we set this one up?
I'll do 12 squared.
Okay, she's gonna go backward. So yeah, the hypotenuse is 12. So either these two add up to 12, or you can subtract from 12. So go ahead and say it, sorry.
12 squared minus 8 squared equals 8 squared.
H squared. This one's not gonna come out very nice. I believe if you have a good calculator, this is gonna come out as 4 squared and 5.
Is that what you're gonna say? Don't lie about me for it though.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it a lot cooler than Ava did.
Hey,
It's not hard.
hey, you.
Ooh. You just got burned. Ava's turn.
Okay, is that the answer?
No,
No.
it's just the height though.
Yeah, that was the height. So remember, right there, base times height divided by 2. So what can we use, Madeline, for the base and height?
The 8, oh, is that the base?
Base of the whole
Oh,
triangle.
it's right, 20 is the base.
20. What's the height of that triangle?
Then 4 squared.
The thing we just did. And then what do I need to do after that?
Over 2.
Divide by 2. By the way, on the calculator, you don't need a division bar on this one because multiply and divide doesn't really matter. You can just write that, it's fine. But the division bar works as well, so I kind of prefer it. 20 times 4 is 80. 80 divided by 2
4 squared, yeah,
is 40 squared 5. And what were the units on this one? Centimeters squared. Okay, last one. Alright, I'm guessing we forgot how to do this one.
Now I know I do.
I'll give Caleb first crack at it. Alright, Caleb, there was a trick to figure out if these were the 3 sides of a triangle, how can I figure out what kind of triangle it was, like acute, obtuse, or right triangle?
I mean, we could. I mean, I added them all up and equal 90.
Nope, that's just a coincidence. Doesn't mean anything. Yeah. These are not angles.
Okay.
Does anybody remember the trick? It's been a while since we did Pythagorean theorem lesson. Okay,
Two large numbers.
if this happens, what kind of triangle must it be? If this works.
Right.
Right triangle. Pythagorean theorem only works on the right triangle. But if the C is too big, the hypotenuse grows too big, this angle gets bigger. So if C squared is large, that happens on an obtuse triangle. If C squared is smaller, that happens, this angle gets smaller on an acute triangle. Now, Which of these would be C up here?
9,
8,
41.
41. If one of them's gonna be the hypotenuse, it's gotta be the biggest one, right? So you have to do 40 squared plus 9 squared. Compare it to, it might be equals, it might not be equals 41 squared. See if they're bigger or the same.
They're the same thing.
Whoa, so it's a right angle.
Yes, so it's a right triangle, right angle, right triangle. Did I do the right problem? Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
I just be doing 20.
Usually the evens are on the right, so I freaked out.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you freak out? Just,
Like all the way up to 3.
oh my